All right, we're going to talk about this Oliver Anthony dude. Because his song, Richmond, North of Richmond, is a fucking brilliant song. And this guy sings from the soul. And after watching a lot of commentary about him, it seems like a lot of people just don't understand where he is coming from. I've listened to a lot of his songs the last couple days to try to get a real understanding of who he is as an artist and where he stands in the world. And while I may not agree with all of his perceptions about the world, this man has a beautiful voice. And what goes beyond the voice is the pain and the real life that you can hear in his voice and in his music. And that's what made him blow up so fast.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
I mean, this lyric right here is about capitalism, how he has to work all day and it's just bullshit pay, even with overtime, because overtime is taxed. I understand the reason why, but for people that are trying to earn money, it really does hurt them.
I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away.
And this is what a lot of people on the left talk about with a lot of work, that it's just wasting their time and their life. Because they work real hard and then when they get home, they don't relax. They have to drink in order to cope with their life, to make them forget how miserable they are.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you.
For people like me, when he talks about himself, this is something that a lot of people in this country have forgotten about. These blue-collar workers who don't care about left versus right. They only care about coming home and living a simple life. They don't need materialism. They don't need objects to make them feel happy. They don't need millions of dollars. They don't need to work in order to gain some sense of fulfillment, right? He's an old soul, which means he's content with just coming home and enjoying the world as it is.
Could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
This line right here, I think a lot of people didn't understand, and you can tell because this song was used on the presidential debate for the GOP. And Oliver came out and said that I wrote this song about you. Think about it. Rich men north of rich men. So what's north of Richmond and Virginia? DC. He's talking about rich politicians. This guy doesn't care about left versus right. He's anti-politician because he feels that they're all just rich people who don't care about the lower and working class men.
Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men.
Your dollar ain't shit, and I'm pretty sure he's talking about, to them, it's not worth anything because it's not a major corporation or anything. And then it's taxed to no end. I don't think he's against taxation, but what he is against is that he sees all of these taxes being taken from him and nothing in return. You got to remember, this guy lives out in the middle of Virginia and there's not a lot of government services out there and stuff like that. He doesn't need a lot of those things. He's content with where he is. So when he's taxed to no end and he sees nothing in return, of course he's upset about being taxed.
I wish politicians look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere.
I mean, this is a brilliant verse because it's him talking about the Epstein debacle, right? And how politicians and stuff like that are worried about their own gratification rather than looking out for like the working class people, the miners of Virginia, and all of these like linemen and hard-working men in these areas.
Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
I've heard a lot of people comment about this and they think it's welfare shaming and fat shaming, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. What he's saying is that there's starving people in the streets and there's a bunch of people on welfare that literally don't take care of themselves. Because that's his reality where he lives in Virginia, is a bunch of welfare people that don't do anything but eat junk food, right? And he doesn't like that because the people paying those taxes are committing suicide or working until they die. He's basically saying he wants people to work for the things that they have if they can. All in all, this song is amazing. I just love it. And I love a lot of his other songs as well because they're so true. And it really highlights something in America that we've kind of forgotten because of our left and right two-party bickering. This guy actually represents the working class of America. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He doesn't give a shit about Trump nor Biden. What he cares about is being able to have a fulfilling life and it being as simple as it can be. These are like the rural people that are working their butts off in coal mining jobs. They're linemen, they're trade workers, right? And they just want to work, go home, and enjoy their simple life. They don't want power, they don't want control, they just want to be left alone. But then again, they want to live in a country where they can be happy. See, when people talk about the silent majority, this is who I think of. Not Trumpers, not Republicans, not Democrats. These people are the silent majority. And I think it's so funny that conservatives and the right wing were hyping this song up and had no fucking clue that he was talking about the people that they vote in. Do you honestly think that Richmond, north of Richmond, isn't about fucking Donald Trump? He could give a fuck less about all of those candidates in general because he doesn't care about politicians. And I think that his song reminded me of that. That there's a lot of people in this country that I probably would have pegged as right wing or whatever. And it was just a bad interpretation of how they want to live their life.